Dude, it's been a rough night.
Shut up, dude. I'm reenacting the epic Superman Batman trailer that we saw yesterday. No,
I
kiss me.
got coke. I got the rum.
Oh,
I
you weren't
pour
kissing.
my rum in my, pour my coke in my rum.
I need
Yum
a Wonder
yum.
Woman doll. Why don't I have a Wonder Woman action figure? You know what,
Because you're
Warner
a
Brothers?
sexist.
You guys are dropping the
Because you're
ball.
sexist, Brian. You don't appreciate women.
It's not that I don't appreciate them. I just don't have one because they don't make them. What do you want from me?
Yeah, it's true.
I'm pretty sure that if I make my own little Wonder Woman action figure, it's going to be creepy and people are going to think I'm a weirdo.
Take one. Oh, that's a lot of rum in there.
Is that a little stiff?
Ah!
That's
I'm
right,
gonna.
people.
I'm gonna. I'm just gonna say right now. I'm probably gonna be drunk at the end of the show.
That's fine. Hey, people, just remember Ryan likes it stiff. All right, I'm gonna do the Batman voice. That's Rich coming from Metropolis. Every time you do something, fuck it, that's terrible. Are you okay? What are you doing over there?
I don't know. I'm not liking it tonight. It's just Bacardi rum, but
Yeah, probably because half your glass was full of rum. That's
I
Bacardi.
need it. I was uh, to let the insiders. I got to watch Brian daughters go to bed tonight, or at least attempt going to bed tonight before the show started. So I got to talk to both of them, and
Yeah.
I'll have to say it did sound very similar to how my kid, or at least my daughter, went to bed tonight. A lot of screaming and crying, and frustrated parenting,
Yeah.
and I feel I feel glad as a parent that I am not the only one out there. So
Yeah, well, you cut out a little bit there, Ryan. So if anybody didn't understand what Ryan was talking about, we usually do about, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of pre-show talking to kind of get on point for the show. We try to show just a smidge of professionalism for you guys. So anybody thinks we just wing it, fuck you. We do not just wing it. We put a
yeah,
lot of work into the show.
there's conversations
We
and
talk.
notes.
Mostly we do a lot of drinking and
Yes.
make fart noises, but other than that, you know. But no,
Yeah.
tonight my two Hellbeast daughters decided they were going to be Hellbeast and uh, interrupted our I don't know pre-show warm up with some craziness, and so Ryan got to say hi, and like I said, he got to feel like he is not the only parent whose kids are crazy, and that we are all together. Parents, all parents alike, iTunes subscribers, me and Ryan are holding up our
Everyone raise a
drinks.
glass right now of an alcoholic beverage,
Yep.
and we salute
Thank you,
you
alcohol.
for
You have
your
got
effort.
us through many tough times as a parent, namely every day. And if you're a parent, you feel like us, and your kids are crazy, you are not alone. Cheers.
Cheers.
As Ryan sucks down his Bacardi with a splash of Coke.
Yeah.
You know, you totally interrupted my. I switched to the small dolls here. Action figures. My awesome
I
reenactment of the
got.
Batman v Superman trailer, which we're going to talk about tonight. That was some pretty big news.
Oh, my bad.
You are the Batman.
Yeah,
I am the
that
Batman.
trailer. I can't wait to get to that. But
I got another Batman.
I think that
I am the
before we
Batman.
do all this, if you guys want to find us, we're on Watch Play Read. We're on Twitter at Watch or at, not Watch Play Read at Geek Dad Report. We're on Facebook. Brian's on Twitter at Brian West 53, and I'm at Big Bruiser. And you find us on Pod Hell. We are all over the goddamn place. So
Yeah.
we got
Find
YouTube
us.
channels. So
Find us, like
like
us,
us,
subscribe
like
to
us.
us.
We need your support, and we as much as we love our core fans, it's always fun to talk to some new people every now and then. So
Yeah. And the only way you're going to do that is if you share us and tell people about us.
yeah.
We're not joking either. We got like big plans for like a Geek Dad Report listener viewer army, and we're going to give out cool shit.
First, we're gonna have a giant party. Basically, just a reason for me to come up to Seattle and get really drunk
All
with
right, that
Brian.
works. But
And
well, on the short term, I haven't even told Ryan about this, so this is a surprise to everybody. We have Christmas coming up, And little show scheduling.
Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming up, people. Woo! Yeah. If you don't like
I did
Christmas,
not
go
know.
see that Krampus movie. I heard it's pretty good. So, me and Ryan are actually going to be taking a couple weeks off to celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. I don't know what else is there. What all the other festive, the Soltide, winter solstice. I don't know. We're going to celebrate the fun days that is giving presents to people by taking a little bit of time off and spending with our family. So me and Ryan, I think our last show, I think we're going to do a show on the 17th.
Yes, we're gonna do the pre-Star Wars show.
And then
It's just gonna be Brian going like this the whole time.
Whoa. Pretty much just like that. Hang on,
Yeah.
we're going to do it like this though. There you go.
It's gonna be Brian the whole show, and we need to talk to. We were trying to get a special guest for that episode, so we need to talk to him.
Yeah.
And,
Alan, we're talking about you. If you're
Yeah,
listening,
Alan.
Text us.
If you
Call
haven't
me.
given up on listening to us, Alan.
Well,
gonna
if he doesn't want to get on that episode, I think depending if Ryan gets a chance to go see The Force Awakens that weekend, we may do a special. Well, if he goes and sees it, we will definitely do a special Star Wars Force Awakens show. Even if he doesn't, we may try and get a roundtable with a few other people, maybe Chris, maybe Alan, and do a special Star Wars show. So that may pop up sometime between now or between the 18th and the 1st of the year. But we are not going to do any shows after the 18th. But on the 18th,
Yes.
we will have our special Christmas show. And to celebrate Christmas and to show all you guys how happy we are that you guys have been so loyal and faithful and keep coming back all year long. I mean, we were on episode, 37 now? 37 episodes. We are going to do a special gift giving. I have started going through all my awesome nerd geek stuff, and I'm going to give out things to people who regularly listen to our show and like us, subscribe, and conversate with us. And Ryan might do the same thing.
Yes, because I have.
He's got a lot of shit to give away.
I have at least 6 boxes in my garage full of stuff that has been sent to Watch Play Read for giveaways and just because they send us a lot of movie posters and T-shirts, and I got like 400 T-shirts in my garage from like different movies. So
Yeah, so
I got a lot of stuff I can put together.
everyone get ready for the post. There's going to be a post coming, and it's basically going to be say, what do you want? And it'll be funny, it'll be Christmassy, and it's your chance to tell me and Ryan what you want, and based on what you want, maybe determine what you're going to get. It probably won't be exactly like it, and it probably will have absolutely nothing to do with what you say you want, but at least it gives us an idea. Like, for instance, if you say, I want a new car, maybe you'll get a cool micro machine.
Yes, but we can't guarantee that everybody's going to get something.
No, we can't. So
Unless like 1,000 people start jumping in.
yeah, well, I got a lot of cool stuff that's sitting in boxes that I could give away. So, but anyway, we just wanted to say thank you to all of our faithful viewers and listeners, and people like Phil, loyal Phil. We mention you all the time. Thank you. You're definitely one of our most active listeners and viewers. We appreciate you. And people like Chris from Washington, you are also a very active viewer listener, and you are the only person who consistently shares our page on Stephen Emile, the Arrows Facebook page, trying to get us notoriety. So Chris, thank you. Special shout out. That is amazing, and we love you. Brian from Washington, you always come with the good questions. Everybody comes with good questions, but yours are always just the perfect amount of nerd.
We had to stop giving out stars because Brian would have just won too many stars.
Yeah, I mean, Phil has some strange stories. Chris always goes over the line, but Brian, your stories are just a perfect mix of that's actually a really good question/story, and we appreciate you. And your wife Lori, she likes to comment too. The fact that you have shared this with your wife makes us even happier. So, Brian and Lori, thumbs up. You guys rule. Chris from Utah. Yeah, sure, you have a vested interest in seeing our show be successful, but you always come in as a fan and you talk to us like as a fan, and I know you genuinely enjoy the show, so we appreciate you just as much. And I do want you to know that Chris from Washington,
back on the show.
Chris from Washington considers you his mortal enemy and wants us to dub you Evil Chris.
Chris does have he doesn't have a goat. I don't know if he got a full goatee right now.
Well, he is bald.
They have
and I do know he loves Lex Luthor, so maybe he should be Evil Chris.
I think he could probably be Evil Chris. He is Empire.
Yeah, so Chris, I know you're going to be listening, so if you want to be Evil Chris from now on, just let us know you can be Evil Chris. You can be the arch villain of the Geek Dad Report. And who else are we forgetting? Jeff. Jeff from Washington, Ryan's friend. You come with some great questions and always make Ryan feel little and small with your Pittsburgh Steeler hate.
Thanks you, Jeff.
I don't know. We forget anybody else? There's lots of people. If we've forgotten you,
leave a comment and we'll talk about you.
You know what? How could I have forgotten? Save the best for last. The man who sent the tauntaun.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, Phil. Sorry, Chris. Sorry, Evil Chris. Sorry, Brian and Lori. Y'all didn't send me a tauntaun. So shout out of the night goes out to Trevor from California, who sent me, and I guess technically Ryan, because it's for our show.
And you know what? And Trevor can't even run his faucet because of California.
Yeah, California has no water.
He probably has to have people send him ship him water from Costco just so he can drink.
Yeah.
But he still sent Brian a tauntaun.
What he doesn't, what people don't know is I actually traded him a gallon of water for this tauntaun.
Oh, really?
It was a good trade. No, he did not need anything. I didn't even ask him. Out of the kindness of his heart and how much he loved the show, he sent us deformed face Luke. Look at that fucked up face Luke, and this amazing tauntaun. That was, I still believe, one of our best bits ever. In the unboxing of the tauntaun. That was
one of my best moments as a commentator.
Yeah, that was pure, I don't know, internet gold, I guess. Maybe fool's gold. Fool's gold. But anyway, thank you everybody who has helped make this show so great. You're all amazing. If we forgot anybody, we apologize. We love you all. But we want to give a special shout out to some of our core audience members who have participated. Trevor always leaves YouTube video comments. Phil is always on Facebook. Chris is always on Facebook. Both Chris and Evil Chris. Brian and Laura. You guys are all amazing, and we really do appreciate you guys interacting with us, and it makes this there's nothing worse than doing something and getting nothing but crickets. So we really appreciate you guys.
Yes, we're glad we don't have to keep asking our moms to do stuff just to get a conversation going. I appreciate that.
My mom can't even get on the internet. I even bought her a tablet. I bought her Amazon Fire thing, and she can't even use it. She calls it the Facebook. I was on the Facebook the other night, and I'm just like, oh, Jesus, Mom. It's not the Facebook. It's Facebook.
You know what your mom needs?
What?
Your mom needs some ninja news, I think.
She does. Well, I guess we should probably get into it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're running the show a little. We ran the intro a little long because we don't really have a lot of news. We do got some fun stuff to discuss. We got some ninja news. Very little bit of ninja news. So we actually might, for the first time ever, rapidly chop through it like we always promised we're going to do. We are going to discuss, as I kind of horribly teased earlier, Batman and Superman. There may be something that happened with them.
And how can we not talk about what the fuck happened in that trailer? Because, holy shit.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff happened that I was not expecting.
We are going to talk about my goddamn trailer.
Whatsoever.
And it's going to be fucking amazing. Anyway, so yeah, that's going to be a big part of the show. We got Game of Thrones news. Yeah, Game of Thrones news.
Jesus lives, you guys. Jesus is alive.
Jesus is alive and well. Jesus of Westeros is coming to I don't know, 65-inch TV near you. We got a fun review of a very interesting comic sent to us by Image later in Comics You Crave. We got, obviously, our Q&A every week that you guys, our core audience, have given us. We got some fun, interesting questions. Funny enough, they happen to a lot be about
Batman versus Superman.
These two motherfuckers right here. Where's he at? Right there. We got a rant, actually, surprise, surprise, about Batman versus Superman. And And we have some recommendations about, I don't even have one yet, but I'll figure out one by the end of the show. So
I came prepared. So
while I cue the music, I'd like to say welcome everybody to episode 37 of the Geek Dad Report. Ryan, is it?
Yes. Did I do something?
Did you know that it is the one show dedicated, formulated, specially created to talking about Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice?
You know what? I get a smile every time you do that. I don't know why. I love that catchy bit.
All while making everybody go, yes, I know more than that jackass in my office.
Yeah.
Huh.
And he's got all the fucking toys and shit.
He doesn't
And
even
he's
have
always
kids.
walking around like he knows what he's talking about. Well, I was at the water cooler.
Oh, shit. Hey, before we cue Ninja News, hang on a second. I think it's time to start the show.
And fuck you. Oh, yeah. Thank God.
Oh, we the bad boys. Sip the cane. Yeah. C's. The MC7. 48's. Let's go.
Yeah, that's right. You never know what you're going to get on this show, people. 16 and a half minutes in.
Yes. Okay. And now, Ninja News cut.
Intro. So, like I said, welcome to episode 37, the one show dedicated for especially created to keeping you in the news and making sure that motherfucker next to you doesn't know more than you.
Anyway,
Ryan?
I'm almost done.
Well, you still got more to drink. Anyway, what time is it?
You know what? I think it is ninja fucking news time. Is what I think, Brian.
Go ninja, go ninja, go.
Yeah.
Ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go
Yeah.
ninja, go.
Yeah, that's right. It's time for Ninja News, people. Yeah.
Yes.
Where you get the uppercut of knowledge. Bam. You like that?
That was good. That was
That
good.
one? Come with it today.
I like that one.
Come with it. I gotta drink rum more often. I would like to say, though, for the record, full disclaimer, that I do not attribute my creative ability or lack of, or whatever little I have, to booze.
You know, you can
It
tell
just
when I'm
brings it
drunk.
out in me.
My hat. The more sideways my hat gets,
Mm-hmm.
that's the more intoxicated I'll be tonight.
All right. Well, fair enough. I guess it's a good tell. All right. Well, we promised flying through Ninja News, and that's exactly what we're going to do, motherfuckers.
Yes. And it's not like there's no Star Wars news to start off. So
As always, we lead with Star Wars news, but we will not talk about The Force Awakens. We did promise that we would not talk Star Wars. We've decided that we will not talk Force Awakens Star Wars. At least for another couple weeks, because, hey, side note, hey, Ryan, guess what happens in 2 weeks?
the fucking world's gonna explode.
Oh, yeah. All right, you know, I just lied just now. I heard they just released the initial, well, not the initial, but the readjusted estimates for what they're tracking the movie right now. It's got 2 weeks left to go before it's released. The original estimates were that it would do, I don't know, they 600 million in the U.S. and they estimated maybe a couple billion worldwide. The new estimates are that it's going to do $3.5 billion. They are now predicting.
I'm not surprised.
Honestly, this is based on
every fucking person I have talked to has said they're going to see the movie. Even my mother-in-law, who has she's like, I don't care anything about Star Wars, but I'm going to go see the movie.
Yeah. Well,
like,
they're predicting that it's going to do
there.
based off of Twitter, based off of pre-ticket sales, based off of all social media, talking, the hype, what they're seeing, the buzz, basically all the same metrics they use to track every movie. They're not projecting opening weekend anymore because they don't really know. But they're projecting that it's going to do $1 billion domestically. $1 billion. That would be a record, period. And $2.5 billion overseas.
Yes. And then you're not.
Fuck you, Avatar and Titanic. You bitches are going down. Urgh.
Is that including toy sales and stuff? Or
No, that's just movie sales.
God.
I don't even know what the toy sales is.
Oh, you know how many of those BB-8 things they fucking sold?
I want one. I asked one for Christmas. My wife told me that $150 for a remote control droid was a bad idea. I disagree.
I asked for the original movies on Blu-ray because I realized I only have VHS copies
Mm-hmm.
of Star Wars, and I think it was time for an upgrade. So
I got the cool like 6-pack of like the Blu-ray movies, and then it's got all the additional features. It's a pretty cool set. You know what? I only got 2 weeks left. I'm not going to be able to get through all 6 before. I was going to have my kids watch them, but we've been so busy with Christmas stuff. And all right, you know what? We promised fast news. So, Star Wars coming out in 2 weeks, people. All right, so Ninja News starts now. Star Wars Rebels, another fantastic show, has been renewed for season 3. Not really a surprise. Everybody was really excited about it. It's gotten good ratings and reviews, and this season has been awesome. Look forward to more Ahsoka, Darth Vader, Ezra,
moving on.
Kanan, Chopper, my personal favorite. Anyway, so if you're not watching Rebels, watch Rebels. Disney, also, speaking of Disney news, they have reportedly been...
Dude, this is true.
They have reportedly interviewed, or I don't know, looked at over 2,500 young male actors looking to cast the young Han Solo in the Han Solo standalone Star Wars movie that's coming out after Episode 8.
That doesn't surprise me because that's going to be I don't know. That's going to be a hard role to take on.
I am glad that they are doing their due diligence.
Not only the iconic, like, fuck you space cowboy, but the fuck you space cowboy as a kid, who's going to be even more fuck you space cowboy.
They haven't even announced like what age the movie's going to be. My guess is probably late teens, early 20s is probably going to be the Han's age of the movie. But yeah, I mean, the fact that they've looked at 2,500 actors, I'm just glad that they're doing their due diligence and they're not just like, hey, go get like who's hot right now? Go get Channing Tatum and tell him he's going to be Han Solo.
Get Chris Pratt.
Go get Chris. Hey, we love Chris Pratt, but yeah, I mean, it'd be easy to go get Chris Pratt. He's already kind of Han Solo in, Guardians of the Galaxy. So, but anyway, one Harrison Ford role that will never be recast is going to be Indiana Jones.
And I am perfectly fine with that.
I am really excited about that. Steven Spielberg came out this week and was interviewed by Screen Daily. And he came out and they were asking about Indiana Jones, and there's been a lot of, we've talked about on the show before about, there's been kind of a lot of buzz circulating that this may be something that's going to happen soon. Basically, Steven Spielberg says, yes, I would love to do another Indiana Jones movie, but nobody will ever don the fedora other than Harrison Ford. He is Indiana Jones, and you know what? I'm good with that. It's about time we keep these people... You know what? I'd rather see an old Indiana Jones than some new guy be a young Indiana Jones.
Is there any other character that you just can't see someone else playing? Like, for me, it would be like Snake Plissken. Like with,
Yeah, I don't think Snake Plissken had the impact that Indiana Jones had, but yeah, I mean, I can understand a character like that, but I don't know, I'm trying to think. I mean, some of these most of the iconic characters that I think can't be recast are actually done by Harrison Ford, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like Robert Downey Jr.
I'll say Tony Stark. I can't see anybody stepping into Iron Man's shoes. I think when Robert Downey decides he wants to quit playing Iron Man, I don't think that anybody else can do it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think most roles can be recasted. We talked about Chris Pratt possibly being Indiana Jones. I think that would be okay, but it's not Indiana Jones. I would rather see an old Indiana Jones hanging out with a younger guy, maybe his
Dr.
son.
Jones.
Yeah, maybe his son. Hey, yeah, we're Short Round. Can we bring back Short Round?
Short Round. Get your little Asian kid.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be an old Asian kid now, but yeah. Bring him back and have Indiana Jones help him out. There you go. Steven Spielberg. Right there. There's your movie. We got it.
Just made your next movie.
So anyway.
Which made $1 million.
I don't know. I'm excited about a possibility of an Indiana Jones 5 coming out, and I'm really excited that it'll be Harrison Ford. And if not, if all we have is the first 4 movies, then let it be, and that's fine. I'd rather have that than have one.
I have my trilogy right behind me.
Well, and I have mixed feelings about...
I honestly cannot wait until my son is old enough to appreciate them.
Yeah, I know. I haven't even shown my kids yet. I will eventually, but...
my son, he'd gone through, he'd looked at, all my DVDs and stuff, and he'd be like, oh, what's this?
Well, I
Yeah, you
know
gotta be at least maybe 10 till you can
the
see that
problem
one.
is Raiders of the Lost Ark has the face melting Nazis,
Yeah,
and then you got Temple of Doom that's literally got the heart ripping out.
yeah. But I'm working like I know he wouldn't like the snake part
No,
where
where they
they
cut
cut
open the
open the
snake.
snake.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I know he wouldn't like that part.
See, I love Temple of Doom. So many people didn't like. I think Last Crusade's the best one, but I really enjoyed Temple of Doom.
I don't know anyone that doesn't think Last Crusade's the best one.
Yep.
Sean Connery.
Oh, dude, so good. All right, we're getting off topic. We can talk about Indiana Jones special all night long. Love Indiana Jones. So we only have a couple more stories, so we'll just moving on. There's not really any transition here, people. So I'm just gonna. Speaking of iconic actors and people that can play their sons, Fox and Sylvester Stallone are developing a Rambo TV show. People, Rambo.
Who the fuck is this Steven Stallone?
Sylvester's crazy cousin, Steven Stallone, is developing a show based on a property he does not own the rights to. With the studio, they can't do anything right. So it's going to be epic. I can't wait.
You know what? I gave up on Rambo a long time ago.
I actually like the last Rambo movie, but the idea of Fox doing a Rambo TV show does nothing for me. Maybe if it was HBO, I'd say, maybe.
I think Rambo First Blood was probably like the last like Rambo movie that I really enjoyed.
Well, it is a little sombering when you find out that, whatever. It's a little strange when you watch Rambo 3 again and you realize that he's fighting with the terrorists.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch that movie again, people. You understand what I'm saying. But no,
Go
anyway.
watch a bunch of like 80s action movies and just.
My favorite part of Rambo 3, last bit about Rambo, is that when he takes a 50 caliber machine gun bullet from a helicopter to the kneecap and just walks it off. I don't care how many push-ups you do.
That shit puts a hole in you like this big.
I don't care how many push-ups you do or how special your training is. You ain't walking off a 50 cal anti-aircraft bullet to the kneecap. Nope, not gonna happen. But anyway, the show is reportedly about Rambo and his son, who's an ex-Navy SEAL, and their relationship. So I don't know, man. There's no date on when it's gonna come out or what's going on, but Sylvester Stallone.
I heard Creed is really good.
Yeah, I heard Creed's good too. I want to see Creed.
I mean, maybe
I like Stallone. I like the Expendable movies. I like the Expendable movies, but I don't know. Sylvester Stallone is attached to this property, so we'll see.
The Expendable movies are like dumb fun. So
yeah, that's true. Kind of like a more violent Expendables. Let's see what else we got here. Entertainment Weekly had their new latest issue come out, and it's pretty awesome. It's the Captain America 3 Civil War issue. Basically kind of piggybacked off the trailer we talked about last week. They just had more images. You got a much clearer look at Black Panther, who looks awesome. We put it up on the Facebook page. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly suggest you go take a look at it. Let us know what you think. Not much to say about this movie. It looks great. Black Panther looks awesome. I'm really excited for it.
I think the only negative thing I have to say is that whoever did all the artwork for the cover and whoever decided what words were getting put on there kind of sucked. So
yeah, what Ryan's talking about is on Entertainment Weekly. The cover says, what does it say? Black Panther has claws that a real housewife would be jealous of. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Know your demographic, Entertainment Weekly. Know your demographic.
Yeah, and then there's a little thing that's like he got like a little voice thing coming off that says meow. It's like, and it said meow.
Yeah, trust me. The people who watch Real Housewives are not picking up that issue to read about the Captain America 3 Civil War.
My wife who records every fucking episode of every fucking one of those series, she's not going to read Real or Entertainment Weekly.
Well, if you would like to read Entertainment Weekly, I believe it hits newsstands this week, so pick it up and check it out. Or you can just go to their website or our Facebook page and check out the images. Let us know what you think of Black Panther. We think he looks awesome, and we're pretty excited about that movie. Quentin Tarantino is in the news right now because his new movie Hateful Eight comes out on Christmas. what better way to spend Christmas than to watch a movie about 8 people trying to kill each other?
I really want to see it.
Yeah, I do
honestly.
too. I love Quentin Tarantino, and it's going to be a great movie. I will say this. I think it's dumb opening it up a week after Star Wars.
It's not going to do very well.
No, it's
Star Wars is going to.
All right, Ryan froze. Star Wars, I think what he's going to say is
Star Wars is going to
dominate.
dominate for a month.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Oh, dude. There's no real competition until March when Batman v Superman comes out. So Star Wars is going to honestly have about 3 months of probably being either number 1 or number 2, honestly. So, yeah. $3.5 billion, people. Let's see here. Oh, what was I say? So Quentin Tarantino, Hateful Eight's coming out. He's been talking about his next project. His next movie might not even be an actual movie. He's talking about doing a TV miniseries based on the book 40 Lashes by Elmore Leonard, which he apparently has the rights to. Apparently he's going to do a miniseries. It's interesting. It's another Western. He's kind of on his Western kick. I don't know. I think, I heard an interview with him, and he said that after he did Django Unchained, he realized how much he enjoyed the genre, and he kind of figured out how to do it right. So he kind of just decided he wanted to do a few more of them. So I don't know. Looks like he's going to be a Western director. Expect more Westerns from Quentin Tarantino. Let's see here. Last little bit of things we got for you guys. Coca-Cola has re-registered the Ecto Cooler trademark, people. If you know what the Ecto Cooler is, then you are cool and you grew up in the 80s and 90s. Oh, Ryan, your connection sucks. You know what? You just be quiet. I'm going to talk for a few minutes while your connection improves. Damn you, Skype. Anyway, Ecto Cooler, a lot of people are... Yeah, he's flipping off Skype. A lot of people are, speculating that the Ecto Cooler is coming back because the Ghostbusters is coming back, but... I believe that would be a safe bet. It is also possible that their trademark is about to expire and they are just renewing it so they don't lose the rights to their tasty citrus drink. I don't know. Ryan, what are you doing?
I don't know. I got a big red box on my bottom screen saying internet connection problem. So.
What are you doing? Are you kicking your router? What's going on? This show is going off the rails. We're 32 minutes in. I want to splice 2 shows together. Make it work. Ryan. Killing me, Smalls.
I'm still here.
All right,
My
so
internet sucks.
here's what we're going to do.
Up in the internet.
I'm going to read the rest of the Ninja News while hopefully your connection improves. All right, so last couple little bit of things we got. Let's see. Actually, I think we only have 2 things left. Samurai Jack, an amazing show, a cartoon from yesteryear, is coming back finally. If you have not watched this gem, I highly suggest you check out the old episodes. But it is coming back to Cartoon Network next year. Yep. Oh.
I'm excited because we've only had a comic book, so being able to get the show is good enough.
Yeah.
How bad is my connection right now?
Oh, it's terrible.
Am I even talking?
Yeah, you're talking. It sounds like you're in like Beirut, and you're like on one of those reporter phones.
Oh God.
Oh, connection issues. All right,
we had such a great connection.
Oh, I know we had a good connection, and then it went away. It went away. I don't think I can hang up on you. I don't know if it'll still record my call. It might, and then I can call you back. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, wait a minute. You might be back. Move around. Do a happy dance. No. It's a tease. It's a big tease.
Huh?
Oh, you're kind of there.
I'm trying to mess around with my internet, so you just keep going.
All right, I'm going to keep going. All right, so next thing, last little bit of news we got for you guys is... last little news we got for you guys is sorry. I'm sorry our connection is so shitty today. Anyway, Mark Zuckerberg. If you do not know who he is played by Jesse Eisenberg in that movie that was really entertaining. No, he created Facebook and pretty much owns your life right now, the rights to your life. He has decided that he is going to do something good for the world, and he is going to give away 99% of his Facebook shares that are worth $45 billion.
I want $45 billion.
Hey, Ryan's back! Hey!
I don't know. I tried like closing a bunch of shit.
Yeah, turn off everything. Turn it all off. It's sucking your signal dry. And not in a good way. Oh my god, you're killing me, Smalls. All right. So, why has Mark Zuckerberg decided to give away this money? Well,
I'm a baby.
Because he has decided that the world would be better off with his money trying to find cures for things. I don't know. Basically, his exact reason was the betterment of mankind, which I believe that the Geek Dad Report is for the betterment of mankind. So, Mark Zuckerberg, if you would like to send us money to entertain people and make their lives more entertaining and better, then we will happily accept some of your shares of Facebook.
Yes. I'll take a few million.
Yeah, I won't even. Just give me enough. Just enough, Mark. That's all I'm asking. Just enough.
We've done you a favor, Mark. It's time for you to return that shit.
Yeah, please. 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 Make it happen. Make it happen, Zuck. All right. Well,
are you guys close? You guys are that close? You just call him Zuck?
Yeah, you know, he's kind of a jerk. We don't really hang out that much anymore, but, you know, back when I used to party with him, he was known as the Zuck. I don't think he liked that, but, you know, we thought it was funny. Which is probably why he hasn't reached out and accepted my friend invite on Facebook. What a jerk.
Yeah. He seemed like a dick like that.
All right, well, that's all the news we got, people. Hopefully we sped fast enough through it, and I don't know, this show's off the rails. Whatever.
Not that bad.
Whatever. You haven't had to watch your face disappear and then show back like I have. So distracting. You don't even know.
My whole face disappeared and everything?
Yeah, you froze. You look like that. Remember that 80s guy, that Max guy who would like show up with the sunglasses?
Max Headroom?
Yeah, that was you.
Max Headroom on MTV.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what, you know what? That's what we're doing. Ryan, you're our new Max tonight since our Skype connection blows. Skype, you want to sponsor my show? How about you do it with a better fucking connection? And there's Ryan again. Lonely. There he's back. All right. Well, do you want to try and move on to Comics We Crave? Nope. Oh, Ryan.
Yeah.
What?
You know, I got not drunk on Skype. Thanks for you making me look. I said yes.
Oh, the connection's so bad. I don't want to start again. I don't want to splice
Maybe you
it
should
together.
finish by yourself.
What are you doing? I can't do it by myself. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to review the comic by myself where Ryan tries to fix his internet connection, people. Sorry. I feel like we've had 37 episodes of pretty decent internet connection. There was bound to be one that suffered horribly. And I do blame Ryan. I'm going to tell him to go upstairs and tell his wife to get off of the housewife streaming and sucking up all the internet.
Probably. Wouldn't surprise me.
All right, so this is what we're going to do for the remainder of the show, Ryan. Whenever you phase out, I'm just going to keep talking and move on.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do.
Well, it's gotten better. Maybe Skype hurt us. It's possible. You know what, people? For suffering through this week, you're going to get good presents on the 18th, so make sure you tune into that episode. It's going to be amazing.
Brian's going to wear a Santa suit.
And only a Santa suit.
Yes.
Take that as you will.
So, the comic that got voted on.
I got a picture. Oh, you talk about it.
Oh, Chris, let me talk, asshole.
No!
And
sorry.
So the options this week were Jim Henson's The Storyteller Dragons from Boom Studios, from their smaller imprint called Arcadia. And then the other one was from Image Comics, Black Jack Ketchum, which is kind of like a Western shoot 'em up one. That's the one that got picked for this week with Black Jack Ketchum.
Which makes me happy because after a couple of weeks of kid comics, it was nice to read something that was an adult comic.
Yes, and this was very much not a children's comic.
Nope. Black Jack Ketchum, issue number 1. There's the cover. If you guys can see that, check that out there. That's kind of the artwork you're looking at here, just to give you guys the artwork is very interesting, so we wanted to give you guys a little look at it here. It's not bad by any means, but it's just it's different.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot more grittier.
Yeah.
It kind of has a more like a Mike Mignola kind of feel, like a Hellboy kind of comic.
Yeah, that's actually good. That's a good comparison.
I think that's what I would compare it to, at least. The writing style's it's not Mike Mignola writing style.
Well,
but
before we talk about the style itself, let's talk a little bit about the comic. So basically, Black Jack Ketchum. Well, actually, you know what? I'd like to tell you what it is, but after reading it, I don't fucking know what it's about. It takes place in the Wild West at some point. We don't know where. It stars a guy named Tom Ketchum. It's kind of a case of mistaken identity. Maybe people are trying to hunt him down because they think he's Black Jack Ketchum, who's a wanted outlaw. His memory is gone, and he doesn't believe him to be this guy.
He's got a gun that talks to him.
Yeah, he's got a gun that talks to him, a mute girl who shoots like a crazy person who seems a little nuts. He can jump interdimensions through to the saloons.
Yeah, was he like going to like different dimensions, or was he just going to like other places in the West?
I didn't think he was going different. Okay, I don't think he was going dimensions, but yeah, I think he was definitely place jumping through. So he would go in a saloon, go out the back door, and he would be in a different saloon in a different place. So if it sounds weird, it's because that's the way this comic is. Unfortunately, the writing is not strong enough to really grab you. They introduce a lot of really weird kind of mystical elements. There's some possible maybe Western type gods. I don't know, maybe Indian gods in play. There's definitely something supernatural, like Ryan said. The gun talks to him.
Well, and then they brought in like the 3 main guys that would be hunting him down, and then they just kind of like
they end that storyline right there. Yeah,
the scene like, hey, here's the 3 main guys that would be hunting him down, and they just kind of like cast him off.
I think the problem is I don't believe this is a mini series. I believe this is supposed to be an ongoing series. With this much mystery surrounding it, usually when you have I like Morning Glories. That's a comic book that really is really mysterious and you don't know what's going on. Kind of like Lost did in this first season. But it gave you enough that it made you want to come back. It gave you at least a little bit. It set the stage so you could come back and experience the crazy. This doesn't really set the stage very well. I'm so lost after reading this first comic. I wanted to like it. I like some of the really fantastic elements, but I was so lost the whole comic. I'm like, I keep waiting for something that's going to explain even just a little bit so I have some base to come back.
Yeah. It kept me interested enough that I would read the second issue.
Yeah.
Just so I could hope that it kind of explains what the fuck is going on.
Well, and that's where I almost kind of wish it was if it had been a mini-series. If it was 1 of 6, I definitely would come back because it sets up a cool, what's going on. But as an ongoing saga, I don't know if I can go 20 issues in before I figure out what's going on. And the first issue tells you nothing. I mean, it sets a lot of stuff in motion where you have no idea whatsoever that's going on.
Yeah, that's very true. That's a good way of putting it.
So, I mean the writing isn't bad. The artwork isn't bad. It's definitely gritty. And there's a lot there that could be good. But as far as, can I give this a thumbs up or thumbs down? I have to give it, a thumb sideways because I don't know if it's not good, but it's not bad either at the same time. So, I don't know. I think if you're a real big Western fan and you want something a little bit different from a Western, like a kind of a fantasy-type Western, this might be for you. I haven't read, me and you have never read the Dark Tower series, but this strikes me as maybe something in that vein of the Dark Tower.
Yeah, I gotta start reading that fucking series.
I know. Faithful viewer, listener, Phil has offered to let me have the Dark Tower trilogy saga so I can read it. I might have to take him up on that, but
and then read them and then send them to me.
Yeah, read them, send them to you, and then we'll get back to you at some point, Phil.
Yes, but from Black Jack Ketchum, I think it might be worth at least the first 3 issues, just to see if you like it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're looking for something that's different, I mean, I don't even know. Maybe, I mean, it's something that I personally have to read it. Maybe for another issue or two before I can even recommend it to people.
Yeah, you know what we might have to do, Ryan, is honestly we might have to. This might be our first Comics You Crave we come back to in a few issues. Maybe in a couple months we'll come back and give it a more solid review. Because I mean, right now I could only maybe give it like a 6 out of 10. It's not bad, but there's nothing that makes you go, oh, I can't wait to see what's next. You're just really confused. It introduces so many different elements. And like Ryan was saying, it introduced some main bad guys, and then their storyline ends halfway through the first comic, and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah. And that all happened in 3 pages.
Yeah, there is a lot going on, and they give you no structure for the world that you're looking at, and it makes it as a difficult read. Now, that being said, there is some really cool things to it. There's some stuff that may pay off definitely down the road. There's a cool bad guy that had a strange reveal at the end.
Yeah.
It was strange because they revealed the person, but it was like supposed to be a big deal, but I didn't know who that person was, so it was like, all right, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I don't know. I think we're both kind of in agreement. Black Jack Ketchum is probably going to be a pass with us if you're just looking for something that you want to pick up one issue and enjoy it. It's a hard read to understand. If you're interested in investing, like Ryan said, in probably 3 issues, maybe 5 issues to really kind of get probably what is I think 6 the sweet spots for a comic to kind of get a full story arc. It might be good. Maybe we'll come back and we'll check out a few other issues to see if maybe we can recommend maybe the first trade paperback when you have a complete story that you can read. But if you're looking for something different and you're dying for a Western comic, not a lot of Western comics out there, but it's not bad. It's just really strange and really hard to understand. So,
yeah, it's like Brian said. I think it's something that we'll probably get back to. But as a first issue, I say you guys should wait.
Yep. I would recommend that you wait as well, which is too bad because I usually like most of the stuff the Image does. I was really excited to read this one.
Mm-hmm. Me too. And at least the cover had a look, interesting. So.
Well, and I'm like, I like Morning Glories. I like stuff that has that's one of my favorite things about comics is you can have some really cool, interesting, crazy stories.
Well, just look at Saga. Have you read Saga?
Oh yeah, Saga. Wow. We need to talk about that. I'm a little behind, and somebody needs to send me the the last trade. But yeah, Saga's a great example of a comic. The first few issues were kind of way out there, but it still gave you enough story and enough background that made you come back for another one. This, in a lot of ways, this kind of wants to be a Western saga,
but it's not.
But it's not. So maybe it will be. Like I said, I always hate trashing on any kind of creation by people who put a lot of work into something, but it's there's clearly a thought process behind it. There's clearly a bigger story behind it, but the first issue really suffers, and it's and it's drawing you in and making you want to come back for a second one.
Yeah, the delivery on the first issue, I think, was a miss, but
yeah.
Who knows what it's got? They'll do some more issues, and maybe they'll kind of fill in a lot of those gaps that we're kind of wondering about. So
yep. So let us know if our view's interested in it all a little bit. Me and Ryan will definitely be more than happy to keep reading it, and then come back in a month or two and let you guys know if it's maybe gotten better, and just let us know. Hit us up in the comments and tell us what you think. All right, moving on. Ninja News.
That was the first negative review of something.
Yeah, I know. It was a little hard. It was a little harder than I thought it would be.
I feel bad because, like you said, the people that make the thing put a lot of fucking time and effort into it.
Well, I feel bad because I want the show to explode, and it's hard to get people like Image to share your show when you are saying their comics suck.
I've done some really scathing reviews, and publishers
they don't care.
Are fairly forgiving.
They probably know too. They're probably like, yeah, this one's not that good.
Yeah,
this one's not a winner. So, all right. As always, next week we will review another comic, if anybody's got a suggestion of something they'd like us to review, please let us know. We'd have no problem checking it out. In the meantime, if no one wants to say anything, me and Ryan will pick a couple and we'll throw it up on Facebook and let you guys vote on it as always.
Yes.
So,
and thanks to Phil and my mom for voting.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what it is, I know sometimes new things are hard to figure out and go like, I don't know, I don't want to hit yes or no.
Just judge the book by its cover.
Judge the book by its cover. When we were voting on My Little Pony, we had people coming out of the woodwork to say, you guys should read My Little Pony, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And we did. And we did for you guys. So we usually put that up, on Tuesday? We'll always have that post up on Tuesdays. So look on Facebook on Tuesdays and let us know what comic you want us to review. Woo. Moving on. Q&A. Viewer, listener, Ryan and Brian favorite segment, Q&A.
Yes.
Where we solicit questions from you guys because we're too lazy to add more segments, so you guys can just fill in the segments for us.
Yeah, but I like it because because you never know what you're gonna get with this kind of stuff.
No, I'm joking. You guys come up with some great stuff, and I love answering questions.
Mm-hmm. It makes me feel knowledgeable.
It does. It makes us feel like we know what we're talking about.
Yes, and I swear probably 90% of the time I'm just talking out of my ass anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, there's that fine balance if you want to say something that's intelligent but also kind of funny at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to sound like a pompous ass like I do most of the time.
Yes.
Oh, well, we mentioned earlier that Brian always comes with great questions. And once again, Brian came with a great question. Brian wants to know, do we have more or less confidence in the DC cinematic universe after seeing the new trailer for Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice?
Well, I've always had confidence in the DC universe and movies in the animated space. In the live action films, not so much.
Well, I do feel that DC does get a little bit of a bad rap. You know, if you look throughout the course of history and movie cinema history, DC's put out some good movies. Now, granted, they put out some bad ones, but can you say their bad movies are any worse than, say, Fox's bad movies?
Well, yeah, and you have to remember, like, what was DC? Yes, they did Green Lantern.
Yeah, bad.
But before that, they had 3 Batmans and a Superman movie. So, what? 1 out of 5?
Well, you got to figure. You had Superman. You had Superman 1 and 2, which for the time were amazing, and even now when you watch them, they're still fun. They don't hold up, but they're fun to watch. Superman 3 and 4, not so much. And then you had Batman 1. That was amazing with Michael Keaton. That was a great movie.
Oh yeah,
it was a great movie.
That movie changed a generation.
Yeah, it was. Really, it put comic book movies on the map to an extent. And then Batman Returns. Batman started killing people, which was kind of strange. It got kind of weird, but even that wasn't awful. And Batman Forever was funny. It kind of went in a weird, place. Batman and Robin was not good. So so really, you got what? You got Batman and Robin, and you've got Green Lantern. Dark Knight Rises wasn't great, but it wasn't an awful movie by any means. So what? Warner Brothers, you really have 2 bad comic book movies. You have Batman and Robin and Green Lantern.
And that's a pretty good record to have. I mean, Fox has got Fantastic Four movie that they ever made. So
Fox has all the X-Men movies, all the Fantastic Four movies, all the Daredevil movies and Elektra movies.
Oh God, I forgot about those.
All the Punisher movies except for Thomas Jane's one, which is awesome. Great.
The last Blade one was terrible.
Yeah, Blade Trinity. They had what else they had that was terrible. Okay, to be fair, I did enjoy the 2 Fantastic Four movies. The first ones, they were fun. They weren't great, but they were fun. And I didn't hate Daredevil as much as everybody else did. Elektra was terrible. We haven't even watched the new Fantastic Four movie.
So we have to say, the Marvel Universe movies does have a lot more flops than the DC Universe. But we want to always give the DC Universe movies a ton of shit. Yeah. Because they have such high expectations for them.
It's true.
And that's only because the characters are more iconic than anything Marvel can put out. I
think maybe there's a little bit of character fatigue that comes into play. I mean, most of Warner Brothers movies are Batman and Superman. They haven't really done a lot else other than Batman and Superman. So
that's what DC Comics is built on.
Yeah, but to answer your question, Brian, the trailer did nothing but make me excited for the movie. I mean, we're gonna talk a lot of. Actually, you know what? What am I talking about? We're gonna tell you what. After the Q&A, we will discuss the trailer. We totally didn't discuss the trailer.
Oh, yeah, we're supposed to talk about that at the end of the Ninja News, but my connection got all fucked up.
Yeah, okay. So we are gonna talk about. So after the Q&A, we will discuss the trailer. But yeah, I mean, honestly, after the trailer, it showed me what I wanted to see to an extent, and I
surprised the shit out of me.
Yeah, I am fully on board with this DC universe. Is there some, I'm a big Zack Snyder fan. I mean, is there potential for this to not be as good? Yeah, possibly. I mean, as good as say
any movie. J.J. Abrams can fucking blow. Star Wars could suck.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
Here's the deal. If you compare it to Marvel, it's not Marvel. DC has never been Marvel. There's a reason why the two comic book companies have always had such different characters. It's not Marvel. If you compare Batman versus Superman to Avengers, you're going to be disappointed because it's not the same movie. Tonally, it's not the same movie. Character-wise, it's not the same movie. Director-wise, it's not the same movie. If you don't like Zack Snyder and you don't like Batman and Superman, you're probably not going to like this movie. So,
yeah.
This is not a movie for people who are like, well, this trailer was not for people who were like, well, I don't like the characters, so they better sell me. It wasn't. It's Batman and Superman, and I think it looks great, but it's not, it's not Shakespeare, people. It's not. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's not The Dark Knight Rises for people who love that and only want Batman to be, Christopher Nolan's version. It's not that. This is a much more comic book version of the character. For people who hated Man of Steel, you're probably not going to like Batman versus Superman because, hey, same director, same actors, same universe.
They're playing right off the end of that movie.
Yeah, personally, I love Man of Steel. I still love Man of Steel. I think it's a great movie.
That was awesome.
I think the haters are just going to hate.
Yes.
Tell you.
Right. Thank you, Taylor Swift, for that.
Yeah, so, I mean, shoot. But no, but truthfully, I'm not going to say it made me more excited. I think it just confirmed what I already suspected about this movie, that it was going to be good. Warner Brothers is trying to use this movie to launch a $1 billion franchise with Justice League and all their other properties. So much like part of the reason why I think Superman or Star Wars Episode 7 is going to be great is because the studios need these ones to be really good so they can launch everything else they want to do. So, they gave Zack Snyder a long time to get this movie right. The rumor is that this movie's been done for the last 3 months. So, they reshot a few things. They've tweaked it here and there. They've shown it to all the Warner Brothers executives. I really don't think this movie's going to be bad. I think it's going to be really good. So,
yes.
I guess technically I'm more excited after the second trailer than I was before. But, I mean, just anything that confirmed that I believe it's going to be great.
Yep.
So moving on. I can't believe we totally forgot to break down those two trailers we're going to talk about.
Well, all right. We'll do that after the Q&A.
Yeah, we'll do it. So
it was my fault.
Okay, so Phil, he brings a Marvel question. He wants to know, where will the other two Infinity Stones turn up in the Marvel Universe? And I just lost the page. Hang on a second. I have to say, while I'm finding the page again, Phil sent me a picture. He made his son Mjolnir in his shop. It's awesome. It looks just like Thor's, and it's real.
That's awesome.
Phil, you are keeping it fucking real, my friend.
So, to answer his question,
let me finish reading the question. It's a good question. Where will they turn up? He notices that Thor 2, that Heimdall had an orange gem in his chest, and he says he can see 10 trillion souls. Does he have the soul gem? Will Doctor Strange have the time gem? He says him and his son watch a lot of Thor. A lot of Thor.
I think those are perfectly good.
It would not surprise me if Heimdall had an Infinity Stone. I mean, Asgard is always kept, they've kind of safeguarded some of the Infinity Stones there, I believe, in the end of Guardians. The end of Thor 2. Or no, is it Avengers?
No, it was Avengers.
Sorry.
Ultron.
Yeah. Well, no, the first Avengers is when he took Loki and the and the Infinity Stone back to Asgard for safekeeping, and then they put the Mind Stone. I would think it was the Mind Stone in Vision.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know. Let's see. Guardians of the Galaxy. They had the Power Stone. No, they had the. I don't remember which stone. They had the Purple Stone. The space.
It was the purple one. I know that.
I don't know. Okay, to answer your question, I have no idea where they're going to pop up. Wouldn't surprise me if Doctor Strange has one. We do know Avengers Infinity Wars coming out in 2017 and 18, so clearly Thanos is going to have all the stones. So Phase 3 is going to introduce the last 2 stones. I don't know if it'll be as easy as Heimdall has one, but it wouldn't surprise me if Thor Ragnarok, one of the Infinity Stones, did show up. But I don't know. When do you think they're going to pop up? You know, it's hard to say. I mean, Marvel's kept close to the source material, but they've deviated enough that it's really hard to tell when they're going to pop up. Because what's missing? The Time Stone, and is it
Time Stone's missing?
the Soul?
The Soul was that the purple one? No.
No. Okay, so there's the Mind Stone, the Power Stone, the Space Stone, the Time Stone, and the Soul Stone. So there's 5 stones.
Yeah.
So the first one, the Tesseract, was the Power Stone. Oh, the Guardians of the Galaxy was the Space Stone. No, the Ether, because they had the Ether, the red one in Thor 2.
Yeah,
I think
Ether.
that was the Power Stone.
We're
I
gonna
don't
have to
know.
get back to this one.
You know what? I didn't do my
That's
research. I don't
research.
remember which stones are which. I'm not going to lie. When I watch the movies, I kind of just ignore which stone. And to be honest, they kind of loosely use the stones for what they're actually supposed to be used in the movies. They're pretty much all just power stones at this point.
Yeah. They're all just like make you super awesome stones.
So me and Ryan will definitely, before those movies come out, we will wiki and update our Infinity Stone knowledge. So we will sound like perfect experts later. But right now, I don't know. I don't know when they'll show up. I do think the Time Stone, that's probably a pretty good guess. Maybe Doctor Strange wouldn't be surprising to see one pop up there. It'd be a cool way to tie it in is if you had one of the Infinity Stones hiding in time or space and time. So, and only in the Mystic Realm, or only Doctor Strange can get it out. I don't know what other movies they have. Civil War, I don't believe they're going to mess around with any Infinity
Civil
Stones.
War is gonna be whose side are you on?
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 has already said it's going to deal with Star-Lord's father, so that's going to be the story there. So probably Thor Ragnarok. I believe that's the last movie before the Infinity Wars. So probably Thor Ragnarok is probably going to be the final stone kind of shows up. So probably Doctor Strange and Thor Ragnarok. Which I can't wait for, by the way. Say this out loud. Thor Ragnarok is about Thor and Hulk on a space adventure. Come on.
That sounds awesome in itself.
That's the only tagline they need, and I'll go see the movie.
Yeah. A Thor Hulk space adventure.
So, sorry for our shitty Infinity Stone knowledge, Phil, but hopefully we answered your question.
Or
Like I
not.
said, good job with the keeping it real with your kid and Thor. That's awesome. Chris from Seattle wants to know if he was the only one let down by Lex Luthor in the new trailer. I'm going to say yes.
Were you? I didn't mind it, honestly.
No,
I like a
He asked if
quirkier.
anybody else, if he was the only one let down by Lex Luthor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wasn't let down by Lex Luthor. It's definitely a little bit of a different direction than I thought they were going to go with this character. I will say this.
Every single one has been I'm the business bald asshole.
Well, if you look at Lex Luthor in the movies, he's kind of been the not necessarily okay. So if you go in the comic books, there's been 3 predominant Lex Luthors that I'm gonna go nerd on everybody real quick. I'm gonna school you. If you look through the comic book era, there's always been 3 distinct types of Lex Luthor. Now, over the years, they kind of combine certain traits, but there's 3 major types of Lex Luthor throughout the years. The very first Lex Luthor was actually a mad scientist. Super smart, but almost like a Victor Frankenstein. Kind of crazy. He wasn't a business guy. He was an evil scientist, kind of cackling, doing crazy experiments to stop Superman. Later, he kind of morphed into the more corporate, version of Lex Luthor that we saw in the animated series, where he was really smart, but he was much more, clean cut, suit. He did a lot of stuff in the boardroom. He was rich, and he he was a very smart individual. He always kept his brains, but he became less of a mad scientist and more of a really smart businessman who wants to become president and stuff like that.
And then the movies, this
and then
guy.
you have the third version of Lex Luthor that's kind of a combination of the two. Kind of mad scientist, but also kind of guy who wants to be like rule the world CEO type guy. You know,
I think even more leaning toward the CEO and doing less of the mad scientist stuff. I mean,
well, in the new version, the 52 version, so I guess it's kind of a fourth version now. He's more of a. They have him always locked up. Everybody knows he's a criminal, but he's literally one of the smartest people on Earth. So there's always been this theme of super smart Lex Luthor, and over the years they've kind of incorporated different things into it. Jesse Eisenberg's version looks like he's going to be kind of going more towards the very first version, you know, where he's this mad scientist, but he also runs a company. So my guess is they're taking those two versions that the first two we talked about, and they're combining them into one character. So this kind of over the top, crazy, mad scientist who's also a CEO of a really big company. So he was different than I thought he was going to be, but I wasn't disappointed with the character.
and give him a nice firm handshake.
Yeah.
And
Whoa! Don't fight this guy. I
don't
thought
fight this guy.
I thought that was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny.
All right, so the last question. If you're wondering why we had a lot of comic questions tonight, my picture that we posted, if you haven't seen it, is this. Let's see if I can get it here. Is this pretty awesome?
The bat signal.
Batman with the bat signal picture that I saw from I lifted from Twitter, and I had to post it. It was awesome. But so anyway, Chris's Evil Chris from Utah.
Evil Chris in Utah.
Evil Chris from
The
Utah.
evil atheist Chris.
Evil Chris. He better like that because it's sticking. He wants to know, in relation to the people, he wants to know, it's not even a question. He wants us to rant. So whenever a movie comes out, like of this ilk, there's always some haters who want to hate. And
Have you been listening to a lot of Taylor Swift or something?
I listen to a lot of Taylor Swift. It's my deep, dark secret.
Okay.
But I just confessed on the interwebs. Nice.
It's all right.
Chris wants us to rant about all the people who are hating on the new trailer. So we are going to do that in rants. We were going to lead into rants, but because we didn't actually break down the trailer like we swore we're going to do that real quick, and then we will get back to your rant, Chris. But do not fear, we will rant about it. So before we break down the Batman vs. Superman trailer, there was one little bit of news that we wanted to talk about as well that we totally forgot because we had a few technical difficulties. Ryan, blame you, Ryan. Actually, I blame Skype and CenturyLink. Your faults.
Yeah.
Unless you like to sponsor us, then you have the best internet and video conferencing app ever, period.
Mm-hmm.
But if
Agreed.
you don't give us any money, then you both suck. You're terrible.
Yeah. Suck it.
Suck it.
Assholes.
You could suck a big Game of Thrones is what you could suck.
Yes.
That was
Because
probably...
Jesus of the Westeros is going to rise from the dead.
I don't know, man. So what me and Ryan are talking about is they just released, I believe, was it today? It was today. A 45-second season 6 teaser that is awesome.
And there's a good 10 seconds where they're just going like flashing through all this different stuff that I'm sure some website has freeze framed every single one of them by now.
They were flashing through a lot of the people in Game of Thrones who've been killed or maimed, and then it goes this stoic screen out of Jon Snow with his hair flowing in the wind.
Yes.
And it says, what does it say?
You know,
it says the ink is dried, the past cannot be rewritten or something like that. Even their teaser is trying to tell us that he's not coming back. He's fucking coming back.
Yeah.
But
and they showed getting stabbed at the beginning.
the best part is it has Jedi Bran in the background, and he's
Yes.
his trainer's training him, and he's like, they don't even know it's coming, do they? And he's like, no. And then it shows Bran starting to do his I don't know what you would call it. Where his eyes turn white. What do they call that?
Warg.
His warg.
W-A-R-G.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fucking awesome. We just want to talk about it for a second. I'm really excited for Jon Snow to return. All I know is if he doesn't, they're going to have some really angry Game of Thrones fans.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. People have just believe to them. They've just convinced themselves that he's coming back, and
Well,
he doesn't.
I think they also were playing on it. They don't know what's going to happen next. To kind of be like for all the people to like me and the book people.
Yeah.
They're like, I fucking have no idea what's going to happen next. God damn it!
I got a question. What happens? What if this happens? What if the show airs, and George R. R. Martin writes his book, and the show airs? They release at the same time. In both scenarios, Jon Snow's dead. He doesn't come back. But George sees people literally burning down the HBO headquarters, and then completely changes book 7.
Well, he's already sent the book to the publisher, to my knowledge. The book has already been sent to the publisher and everything. I think they're just doing like final edits or something like that.
They are really trying to get this book out before the show launches.
Oh yeah.
How bad do you think it'll affect? See, I don't think it'll affect the sales though, because I think the people who are going to read it are still going to read it.
Yeah, I want to buy it no matter what. I'll buy it the day it comes out.
I'm going to steal it from you once I read the other ones at some point.
Yeah, never.
Well, hey, in my defense, the first one's really hard to get through because the first season of Game of Thrones is identical to the book.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You could probably skip the first book.
I'm thinking about it because I know it deviates a lot, like from book 3 on, but I'm just having a hard time reading the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so we just wanted to mention that. We did post the trailer, the teaser on our Facebook page. Check it out, or you can head over to Game of Thrones website, Facebook, Twitters, and you can see it there. We highly recommend you watch it. And let us know what you think. Is Jon Snow coming back, or is he not? And on to our story of the night. We're going to break down that badass new, in case you were under a rock the last few days, Batman v Superman has released not 1, but 2 awesome trailers that we got to talk about. The first one is actually a 45-second, clip of the movie where Superman, it's like future Superman falls down this thing and then rips off Bruce Wayne, Batman's cowl, and stares him down. It's awesome. He's like, if I wanted to kill you, I already would have. It's so great.
Because I killed Zod.
Because I'm Superman, you're just a stupid guy with a rubber hood on, you loser.
Yeah.
Hoser.
Laser
Batman's
eye.
like, you will not talk about me like that because I'm goddamn Batman.
And because we don't have any Wonder Woman action figures.
I will talk to you any way I want to because I have giant pecs of steel.
So
yeah, we don't have any Wonder Woman
about
toys
the
because
other
they don't
trailer.
make them because the toy industry is a bunch of sexist bastards. I'm just bitter. I want a cool Wonder Woman action figure. I don't have one.
Oh, I would buy one.
I will say this: DC's still better than Marvel when it comes to making women action figures. I can find a hot girl, but I can't find a fucking Black Widow. You know how mad my daughter was that she could not find a... My daughter, side story, we're looking through toys, and I go, would you like some Avengers stuff? And she puts her hands on her hip, and she goes, I would, but there's no Black Widow in there. I was like, well, fair. That's a fair thing. What am I going to say?
That's money that they're throwing down the drain.
Hear that, Marvel? It's your fault. Instead, she got some stupid, American Girl doll thing. I don't know. I got her the knockoff, though. I'm not paying $100.
My daughter wants that stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Target did $30. It's great. Target, the Walmart that you aren't afraid to go to. You aren't ashamed to go to. Target.
Yep.
Yes.
Target.
The highfalutin Walmart, people. Anyway. So, the Batman v Superman trailer, as we have rambled for long enough.
Yes.
Generally, our thoughts, I am super excited for it.
So, the way they introduced Diana, how did you like that?
I liked it a lot. Now, I will say a little bit about, we'll kind of tease a little bit of some of the stuff we're going to talk about in the rant because we can't discuss the trailer without it. The trailer had some issues tonally. Most trailers they give you a 2-minute trailer that's like a clip, like a cool, almost music video to make you really excited. I feel like they went a totally different direction with this trailer, and they had much longer scenes from the movie. Like, they were showing you little scenes from the movie, so you could actually get a feel of what Batman was going to be like, and what Superman was going to be like, and what Wonder Woman was going to be like. And her reveal was awesome. That was great.
Oh, where she got the...
Well, she got the shield. Okay, so people, if decided you do not want to know anything about the movie and you did not watch the trailer, we're gonna talk about what's in it. So this is your chance to fast forward about 3 or 4 minutes. But here it goes. You've been warned. So when fucking Doomsday jumps down and blows the eye things out, and Batman's about to get vaporized, and Wonder Woman blocks that shit, and that's her entrance. That was awesome. That was so great.
And then I like how Superman looks at her and goes, "She was you," and then Batman's like, "I thought she was with you."
Oh, and can I just say how great it is that Batman doesn't talk like this? Batman. Where's the Batman? Yeah, I mean, Ben Affleck's Batman definitely has a little bit of a deeper voice. It's a little gravelly, but it's more like this. I'm not sure. I thought she was with you. Not like...
Yes, he's not getting like total, like just gargling rocks.
And listen, I love Christian Bale as Batman. He was a good Batman. But when he's like, "You don't let me," at one point, I really wanted Bane to go, "Okay, I cannot understand what you're saying, Batman. I got to Gotham."
And I got this fucking mask on, and people can understand me.
Yeah. Oh, Batman.
God, it hurts my throat.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, Bale, I give you props. I don't know how you did that for an entire movie, because we do it for 30 seconds and I can't talk.
Yeah.
But, no, I loved how they introduced her. I thought she was great. You know, all the criticism that she has taken, Gail Gadot, for being Wonder Woman, I thought from day one that she'd make a great Wonder Woman. And just seeing her kind of in action, she looks like Wonder Woman. I don't know what to say.
And some people were mad because, like, oh, she's a model. And
or her boobs aren't big enough. I actually heard someone say her boobs weren't big enough. A female tell me that she was disappointed that Gail Gadot's boobs weren't big enough. And I'm just like, who cares?
Is she Power Girl?
Yeah.
She's got to be, like, giant tatas swinging out of there.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to ever complain about big boobs, all right? Not at all. But I'm not going to sit here and slam a great character because the actress playing her's boobs aren't big enough. Come on.
Well, I mean, I don't even know. Does Wonder Woman typically?
Yeah, Wonder Woman typically in the comics has big boobs, but everybody in the comics has big boobs.
Yeah, that's true.
Every dude has a giant six-pack and ginormous arms. I mean, this is the way Superman looks as my action figure. Look at that guy.
Yeah.
A guy who looks like that. And every woman has a perfect butt, long legs, and huge boobs. I mean, it's just comic books 101. They draw them the way that we all want them to be, not the way they really are. But
yeah,
I think she looked like an Amazon princess. I think she looked like a badass. And I think physically, I'm glad they went with a tall actress because standing next to Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill, she didn't look small. She looked like she could hold her own. I'm really excited.
Yeah, that's true. That makes a lot of sense.
And Doomsday, you know what? That's been the rumor for a long time. I know we're going to talk about rants a little bit. People are a little upset about they spoiled it. You know what? Who else was going to fight Superman?
Well, who else is going to fight the three of them?
Well, yeah, we knew that Batman and Superman.
It had to be someone that would be powerful enough that they had to form a three-way alliance.
Yeah, and unless you're just going to magically introduce like Bizarro or Brainiac or something for like a surprise third act, it was going to always be Doomsday. I mean, they showed Zod's dead body in the original trailer. Doomsday is from he's got Kryptonian DNA. It was an easy kind of leap. So I know some people are mad, like they should have saved it for the movie. No, we're gonna get in that in rants, but anyway. But the trailer, I love Doomsday. I thought it's great. I love that they kind of showed us what we're gonna get with the movie a little bit. You know, like you got to see DC Superman be Superman.
A lot more to sell.
What?
DC does have a harder sell.
Well, and they do, and I think the way the trailer is, the reason why they made this trailer this way, versus maybe like the way Marvel did or even Star Wars did, is and one of the complaints that people have had is like, oh, Star Wars did a great job of less is more, and we've talked about that. We love trailers that less is more, but let's be fair, it's Star Wars. You could say Star Wars, and people would just go see it. Batman v Superman. There's a lot of people who hated Man of Steel. This is a huge property for them. I think we talked about what their budget's already over $500 million. That's before their marketing. So this movie has to make a lot of money to
Well, and then you have a lot of people that are very loyal to the Marvel universe, and they don't even want to give a shit about what the DC's doing.
Well, and people needed to know what to expect because the first teaser trailer was great. That was for us fans. that was for the guys like me and you who were gonna go see this regardless. Like, oh my god, this is so cool. We get to see Superman and Batman about to punch each other. This new trailer is for everybody else who says, I didn't really like how Man of Steel didn't have Clark Kent be a reporter. You see firmly right in the beginning that, hey, he's a reporter. You see him saving people. You see him actually being Superman. I don't think it's a coincidence that the first movie was called Man of Steel. It wasn't called Superman because he wasn't really Superman yet in the first movie. He was the Man of Steel. He was an unbreakable guy who was learning to be a hero. In this movie, it's Superman versus Batman. You have an established Batman, and you have a Superman who's finally become Superman. You see it in the trailer. You see him saving people. You see him being heroic. You see all these things, and you see him being a reporter. And then you also see Batman, a dark, twisted from Gotham Batman. And I love his little comment when he's like, sorry, maybe I'm negative. It's the Gotham in me. We're just used to it. Looking negatively at clowns or people dressed in clowns costumes or something.
Yeah, I like that part.
You know, I love that. I mean, and not just that, you got to see kind of more of the fighting, more of the interaction. You got to see Ben Affleck actually in his Batman suit and what he's going to look like. It doesn't look stupid. It looks cool. I mean, and you got to see Lex Luthor. You know what? I'd much rather get used to this. You know, like to Chris's point in the Q&A was that it's a very different version of Lex Luthor. If you're not expecting that and you go into the movie, maybe you're disappointed when you first see it. But I think once you get used to the fact that this Lex Luthor is a little bit different, by the time you see the movie, you're gonna like it. You're gonna be like, man, this is really, I like this take on him. So, I love the trailer. I was super excited. I've watched it a bunch of times. I showed my daughter. She loved the fact that they just want to watch the end with Wonder Woman. They're like, ooh, Wonder Woman.
And that makes me feel good for girls. I mean, especially young girls that Wonder Woman can she saved Batman's ass right there.
Well, and if you want to know who this trailer was for, here's a perfect example. In my household, we watch a lot of comic book movies, but they mostly know the Marvel characters because there's not a lot of cartoons for their age, and honestly, they watch a lot of stuff from cartoons. They love Star Wars partially because of Rebels. My youngest, Charlie, she loves Spider-Man because they have a really cool Spider-Man cartoon that kind of appeals to her. And so, they don't watch as much Batman and Superman because they're darker kind of properties, and they don't really have any cartoons on the air right now. So I'm showing her the trailer, and she keeps saying Spider-Man, and she keeps calling different, Marvel characters. And then finally I tell her Superman and Batman. About halfway through, she's like, oh, okay, Batman, Superman, and she's kind of getting it. But then when Wonder Woman comes on, she sits up out of bed, goes, Daddy, Wonder Woman! She knew exactly who Wonder Woman was, and from that moment on, we had to watch it again, and she's like, Daddy, Batman, Daddy, Superman, Daddy, Wonder Woman, and she's all, like you said, it was awesome.
Yeah, if that doesn't bring a smile to your face, then you're just a soulless person. I mean, that's what DC needs more of, and...
Was the trailer perfect by a trailer stance? No, it wasn't. But that was the point, and I think they're smarter than we give them credit for. This trailer was not made for us fans. This trailer was made for people who were on the fence or wanted to know more about this movie, and it gave them a better look at this movie because it is a big movie, and they want to make sure. There's a lot of stuff coming out that Batman and Superman could get drowned in. Everyone's talking Star Wars. Civil War trailer just came out, and it was great. Batman comes out before Civil War and right after Star Wars. So people have to know, like, hey, we got this movie too, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And we needed to make a lot of money.
But
so anyway, that is our breakdown of the trailer, which leads us to the rant part of our trailer. Chris wanted to, talk about all the people who were mad about the trailer. So I don't know, what are we going to call this rant? What should we say this rant?
It's called Haters Gonna Hate, Hate, Hate.
There you go. Haters gonna hate. Boom.
And especially if not everyone doesn't know, there is also a thing called the Marvel DC comic divide. Yeah. There are some people that are very loyal to Marvel comics and the Marvel universe and all that kind of stuff. And they think that the DC universe is too dark, too gritty, always trying to be, just dark and gritty. And the DC people, think that the Marvel comics are, too, I don't know what, happy? I don't know. Oh,
I've
they're
never
really
personally. I
happy,
don't get
but
it. I love both properties. I think
yeah,
as a geek,
I love both.
as a person who's grown up reading both comics, I've always thought that Marvel has better ongoing monthly series, but DC has always had better storylines. Man, I mean their storylines are so good and so much more adult and crazy. Anything can happen in a DC story. Literally anything, guys. A character may get his head blown off in a panel and you don't even see it coming. But no, but you know, as far as the criticism for this trailer, yes, like you said, there are people. There is a Marvel and DC divide, and Marvel people are going to hate DC, and DC people are going to hate Marvel. I'm sure there's lots of DC fans who thought the Civil War trailer was stupid, and I know there's a lot of Marvel fans who think the Batman versus Superman trailer is stupid. But you know what? I'm not going to talk about assumptions. We're going to talk about the things that I have read and seen on the interweb about people's biggest complaints, and we're going to rant about those. So the first one
Yeah,
is that the trailer gave away too much. All right? Like me and Ryan talked about earlier, this is a giant movie, people. This is a movie that has to make a lot of money, and they have to make sure that people know what the fuck it's about.
yeah. This is DC's tentpole.
Yeah.
They want this to be the thing that holds up the umbrella for all the DC movies that they want to start pumping out. They want to start doing a lot more individual movies, and then the Justice League, kind of in the vein of the Marvel Universe. And they like you said, they have to get this out to a broader audience because unlike Marvel, people aren't as knowledgeable about what the
Well,
DC
it's not
universe
that they're not
exactly
knowledgeable.
is.
They know the characters, but this is a new universe. They are setting this whole thing up, and this is a brand new universe that they are bringing in more than just one character. Man of Steel was great, but it was one character. It wasn't a whole big universe. You know what? And I've heard people say, oh, well, DC should do what Marvel did and go Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, then Justice League. That's a terrible idea. We've already done that. Now we want to start something different. We don't have the patience
You
anymore.
know who Batman is.
Yeah.
You know who Superman is. You know who Wonder Woman is. So why not just bring them all in at one time and just
Well, you know what I find hilarious is the same people complaining and bitching about this trailer giving away too much are the same people who think that the Civil War trailer was great. That movie gave away a ton of stuff, and it was the first trailer. The very first trailer.
That's very true.
Marvel,
I'm willing
I
to bet
love
that
Marvel.
Captain America and Bucky Barnes fight against Iron Man is probably toward the very end of the movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, I love Marvel, but if you go back and watch all the Marvel trailers, they almost always give away giant scenes from the third act of the movie. Say what you want to about Batman versus Superman. Yeah, we saw Doomsday. Surprise, surprise. Whether you want to consider it a surprise or not, I don't care. But that was probably the very beginning of the third act. I would venture that we have seen none of the epic third act of that movie. We haven't seen an iota of that. Doomsday is the first time we've seen anything from even the last 30 minutes of that movie. They are saving that for us, and I guarantee you we've only seen a tiny bit of the Batman versus Superman fight that we all can't wait for. And at some point, people, here's the deal. You have to market a movie. Yes, we would all love the less is more approach, but you have to market it. In a day and age where we live, where we love seeing Star Wars and Avengers and these giant billion-dollar properties, they have to market them to be able to sell them. If we want to see these continue, and we talked about Infinity War's budget's going to be $1 billion. With these movies' budgets going over $1 billion, they are going to make sure that we know what we're seeing and want to see this, which means we're going to see more trailers. So it's on you to just say, I'm not going to ever watch a trailer if you don't want anything to be spoiled. And number two, I know there's a lot of criticism. People are complaining about Doomsday. Guys, Doomsday was never going to be kept a secret. You know why? Because of merchandise. Yep. They were going to sell Doomsday toys. That is why Doomsday was always going to be released early, because you have to be able to sell a bad guy for kids to play with. Little boys and little girls, probably little boys when it comes to Batman and Superman, don't want to continue to fight Batman and Superman. They want the two heroes to fight a bad guy. And so far, this movie, other than Lex, has not been introduced a bad guy. Doomsday was always going to come out. He was going to be on Mountain Dew cans, and he was going to be on posters, and he was going to be everywhere. So, you know, it was only a matter of when. I've heard some people complain about how Doomsday looks. I would like to say this before...
I thought he looked fine.
I think he looks great, but I would like to say this before people criticize too heavily on Doomsday. Just remember, Doomsday appearance changes. As he gets defeated, his spikes and stuff grow. Doomsday, every time Doomsday died in the comics, he comes back even bigger and stronger and more evil. So my guess is as they beat on him, he's going to adapt and he's going to look exactly like he does in the comic books by the end of their fight. So he is a very dangerous villain. And when I saw him, I was only even more excited because it finally confirmed a bad guy that is great. He's a great villain for this movie.
Superman?
Well, he what?
Do you think he's going to break Superman?
No. Justice League is around the corner. There's no way they're killing Superman yet. But no, Doomsday's perfect for this movie because Doomsday doesn't talk. He's not smart. he's just a fight death machine.
He's an escaped criminal.
Yeah, he's going to be great. I'm still a little wondering how Batman's going to tie into this because literally Doomsday could kill him with the flick of his finger, but we'll see. It's still pretty cool. I don't care. Seeing the Trinity of them at the very end of that was awesome. Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, this is great. But, the other big criticism I've heard is that the trailer was all over the place tonally, and it wasn't like a normal trailer. That's true, it was, but I really think, like we talked about earlier, that was done on purpose. They wanted people to see scenes of this movie, not clips of this movie.
I like it when people are very easy to criticize, but you know what? I like to say, can you do better physically?
Yeah, I mean...
Can you artistically do it better? No? Then shut the fuck up.
I mean,
because someone who gets paid probably $100,000 a year made that trailer. They know what they're doing. Okay, they're not just like, hooked up. I'm just gonna sit at my computer and use Microsoft Movie Maker and slap all this shit together.
Well, listen. This is the last Batman Superman trailer I'm going to watch. Just like I watched the last Star Wars trailer, and I haven't watched any of the TV spots. I fast forward them. I have a hard time. I saw what I needed to see. People, we can't have 30-second cryptic trailers because we have to make sure the studios, if we want to keep as fans watching these movies, we have to we're going to have to accept that the trade-off is over promotion because they have to make sure they get their investment back. If this movie doesn't do $1.5 billion at least, we're not going to get more movies. And maybe all the Marvel fanboys are like, yeah, good, awesome. But what's funny is the same people are complaining about this trailer, the same people who didn't like the first trailer. But like I said, if you're going to complain that this trailer, Batman vs. Superman, newest one, gave too much away, then I don't want to hear you say how awesome the Civil War trailer was. Because that trailer gave away everything practically.
Gave away a lot.
In the first teaser.
And as someone who's not that crazy familiar with the Marvel universe, like I know enough to get by.
Think about it.
But I was like, that seemed a little.
In the first trailer, they already gave away who's divided on teams, what the plot of the movie is, how it's going to be resolved. War Machine and Tony Stark totally destroyed. I mean, it's like, all right.
Yeah.
But guess what? We're all like, that's awesome because we saw Black Panther. How come no one's complaining saying, how come they didn't save Black Panther from the movie? That would have been a great reveal.
Yeah.
They didn't show Spider-Man, so I guess there's something there.
Yeah.
And not just that. Unless you're psychic, don't talk to me about what's spoiler and what's not, if they're giving too much away. Maybe everything we've seen in the Superman trailer is in the first 20 minutes. Probably not. I'm guessing Doomsday's probably towards the end.
Not, but that would be awesome if it was the first hour.
Yeah, I bet you everything other than the Doomsday reveal is, other than that part, I guarantee you everything we've seen is in the first hour of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It has that feel of it. So, you don't know what a spoiler is until you've seen the movie. Then you can look back and say, yep, that was a spoiler. I can look at the Star Wars trailer and say, I'm pretty sure that Chewbacca's dead and that's what Rey's crying over. But I don't know for a fact because I haven't seen the movie. I can only speculate on what it is and what it isn't. So we don't know what we're seeing until you see the movie. So you can't sit here and complain that they've given away too much of the movie. You have to know what you're going into before you go see it to an extent. And if it's a movie like Batman vs. Superman and you know you're going to see it anyway, then just avoid the internet.
And don't complain that they're not showing enough Diana. Because it's called Batman vs. Superman. And even the big Diana reveal, I thought that was even...
She may have honestly been the best part of the trailer.
Like, the part that they showed on the fucking Diana thing was like, holy fucking shit, Wonder Woman's a badass.
And
That's a lot.
I think that
It's
Wonder
really
Woman was my
good.
favorite part of the trailer. She was awesome.
Yeah, your little girl shut up and said Wonder Woman.
You know, and
That's the fucking selling point right there. So don't go and say, oh, there's not enough fucking Diana in it.
yeah, so,
That's
you know, we can rant for a long time. Listen, people, if you're going to complain about it, like you said, haters going to hate. If you're not going to like it, you're not going to like it. If you'd like to take to whatever social media and complain and rave, and I've seen IGN did a whole podcast about how they gave away too much. Oh, shut up and blow it out your pie hole. Who cares? Everybody who's excited about this movie is excited about this movie. If you don't like trailers, don't fucking watch them and shut up. If you don't like DC, then shut up. I don't want to hear about it. Okay, go back and watch Civil War trailer 3,000 billion times and talk about how great that is and how Marvel's doing it right. But yet DC does the exact same thing, and you're like, that's crap. I don't want to talk about it. And on a side note, you know what? If I hear one more person complain about Captain Marvel coming out, getting pushed back, and that DC and the Marvel doesn't have enough female characters, which you're right, but at the same time will refuse to talk about Wonder Woman at all, just shut up. Just shut up. Just get out of here. Come on, get out of here. Good Lord. Wonder Woman is the most iconic female comic book character, period. And every woman who wants more comic book characters should be doing nothing but talking about her, because if this movie doesn't sell, what do you think it's going to say to every other studio? Hell, Warner Brothers couldn't get the most iconic character of all time to make money. Let's scrap that Spider-Woman movie we got planned. Let's just not do that one.
Yeah.
So, just, you know what? Enjoy it for what it is. We all live in an amazing age where we get to watch the things that we loved as kids explode onto the big screen, and we are fortunate to live in this time.
Explode on the big screen, be actually accepted in mainstream media and, society.
Not every little thing that comes out of nerddom needs to be vented, ranted, and raved about. Sometimes you just, if you don't like it, just go, and move on.
Yeah.
Not for me. Moving on.
Okay. We'll find something else to do.
Yeah, whatever. So if you were one of the ones who hated it and you think we're way off base, we'd love to hear from you guys. We're always open to looking at something from a different point of view. Feel free to text us or tweet us or Facebook us or IM us or whatever else you want to do.
You can send us snail mail.
Or you could send a letter. I'll give you Ryan's address and then he'd forward it to me. That's fine.
Huh.
So anyway, that's all we got. We ran long, shocker.
Yes.
So let's
just got a recommendation.
Let's do quick recommendations. Ryan, what should we do or not do for the week? I fucking don't know. You go first.
Well, I have one because I wrote a review about it on Watch Play Read. It's the Take It to Ride app. It's out for the iOS, Android, and Steam. If you buy it on one Android device, it works on all your Android devices. If you don't know anything about it, it's basically just like a train board game. You get colored cards that if you connect, certain color cards will connect certain parts of rail, and you're basically just trying to connect your rail lines to get bonus points and that kind of stuff. It's a really fun game. It's $6.99. If you like board games, I had a lot of fun playing it. My 8-year-old had a shitload of fun playing it, and we played each other on it. You can play people online. The one negative thing I kind of had to say about it, that it will make you want to buy the actual tabletop version, just because it's a fun game. It's not like a train simulator or anything like that, but it's a very interesting board game. So Take It to Ride. Check it out.
All right. Well, I've been really, really busy lately, and I've not had a chance to really consume much media or do anything really worth recommending. So I'm just going to recommend that, let's see here. I'm going to recommend that you guys do what me and my wife did this weekend. It was her birthday, and she wanted to go downtown Seattle, so we got a hotel room, and we had a bunch of friends all meet us, and we partied in the hotel room, and then we Ubered it. For those who don't know what Uber is, it's basically the greatest, awesomest thing on earth. You just hit where you are in your phone. Some dude in a car comes, picks you up, and drops you off somewhere, and then they charge your credit card. It's great. Yeah. We Ubered it everywhere. We went out to dinner in downtown Seattle. We went to a comedy club. We went back to the hotel. We got shithouse drunk, stayed up till about 4 in the morning. My mother watched my kids. It was great. It was fun. We got to be adults. We partied. I had a massive hangover, and then I got to go watch the Seattle Seahawks beat the hated Pittsburgh Steelers. It was a great event. So my recommendation is, don't forget that you and your wife once were young and used to have a lot of fun. Occasionally, go to whatever big city you live by. Get a hotel room.
Salt Lake City? What am I going to fucking do in Salt Lake City?
Yeah, that's probably true. They probably have hotel rooms and beer at some point. They got to have some comedy club. As repressed as that state is, somebody's got to laugh.
Yes.
Well, unless you live in Utah, go to a big city, whatever biggest city you live near. Get a hotel room for the night. Leave your kids with the grandparents and just go party and have fun and remember why you got married in the first place and how much fun it was just being young and having fun. And then have a massive hangover that takes you 3 days to get over because you're old as shit. Oh, stupid. I don't know. Is that a good recommendation? What do you think?
I think so.
All right. Well, we ran long.
So was your recommendation really just get drunk and phone your wife?
Well, I would say that at my age, I don't know if you could do the first and then the second.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that anymore, does it?
I don't know. I didn't really have a good recommendation. I was trying to, you know what? Did you call me out on my recommendation, you son of a bitch? You know, I recommend that you watch the Batman vs. Superman trailer over and over because it's amazing. And then...
That's the show.
Oh, you know what else we didn't talk about? I recommend that you get on Hulu and watch the Arrow Flash crossover.
Oh my God!
That was amazing. It was so good. All right, so my official recommendation is
Vandal Savage.
Vandal Savage. They set it up. They had Hawk Girl, Hawkman. If you didn't watch it, I think where'd you say you can find it? Hulu?
Yeah, Hulu. I watched it on Hulu today.
Yeah, watch it. It is Legends of Yesterday and Legends of Tomorrow, I think is the name of the episode.
No, it was Legends of Today and then Legends of Yesterday.
Oh, Legends of Yesterday.
So Legends of Yesterday was the Arrow one, and then the Legends of Today was the Flash episode.
It was the Flash Arrow crossover. Every year they're going to have one, and this one was much better than the last one, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I totally recommend you watch that.
Yes.
And get drunk, try to bone your wife, maybe go to a comedy club, and ride around an Uber. It's amazing. All while drinking, and then watching the Seahawks beat the Steelers.
Except that last part.
With a 3-day hangover. Ugh. On that note.
It's a good football game, at least.
Well, thanks for sticking through us. Thank you for sticking with us through
Thanks
our
for
technical
sticking
difficulties.
with us, guys.
Did you say stick it in you? It's weird.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to stay weird.
I was going to, you know what? I was going to download We Are the Champions and play that on the way out, but we'll go with our old music. Anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next week, as always.
Goodbye.
Stay awesome.
Have a good week.
There it is. Hang on, where's that? Watch my goddamn trailer. That rave.
I remember coming up, not even a book, ain't even a sense make enough. We was out there chasing after stuff that you only find in your dreams of the nights when you're looking up. And I remember so many times it was looking tough, so I wrote an extra rhyme when I took the bus, cause I knew there'd be a time that would open up, that I get a chance to shine hard if I do it tough. So I did it and put everything in it, gotta be with it, never stop.